We're here with law of attraction coach Mark Haughton. Mark, you have won the lottery multiple times. How many times have you actually won the lottery?
Um, Over 11 times.
11 times. Wow.
Huge,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
with huge win. 11 times, uh, over 1,000, and within those 11 times, that a few of them were pretty big.
Wow, that is incredible. Wow. Okay, okay. 11 times. Wow. I was thinking it was like three or four times. That's really
Uh,
incredible. Yeah.
I actually, yeah, I win 11 times was what I call big, but anything under 1,000, I win uh, quite a bit, quite a lot. I haven't even kept track, but I would say if I do an estimate, month, maybe monthly, or I put maybe yearly, I'd say maybe over 30 to 40 times.
Wow. Okay, okay. And what is the highest amount you've won?
The highest amount I won was a 107,000,
Nice,
and
nice. Okay,
yeah,
okay. And how
107,000.
often, and like, so, how often do you play the lottery, in general? And how long have you been doing it for?
Okay, well, the lottery, see, the lottery, I look at it as a fun means to attract extra abundance. So
Hmm.
I treat the lottery as an investment, sort of like the stocks.
Right,
So
right,
because it's all about programming your subconscious mind. Because if I can get
right,
my subconscious mind to get into that frame and see the lottery as, as one of the means, then it becomes more fun. So I have my regular numbers that I play. So I play them daily, and it's all about the hunch or the intuition too. Sometimes I get intuition. I may buy a scratch card or anything of that sort.
right,
So, but yeah, it's kind of a level plan I do when I play the lottery.
right. Okay, okay. And
It's a system.
right, right. And you say you play the same numbers over and over again. Correct me if I'm wrong. You call that vibrational numbers. Am I correct?
Right. Yeah. So okay. So when it comes to the lottery, so with the numbers I'm talking about, these are numbers I may receive when I do meditation for my higher self. I may
Hmm.
receive them in a dream. These numbers I play, consistently, and also I use the vibration numbers. I play them as well because those numbers I can kind of intuitively pick up, and then
Right.
I use quick picks, let the universe randomly just generate the number.
Right, right. Okay, okay. And Mark, how did you get into this work to begin with? How did you find the concept of the law of attraction and spirituality and metaphysics and all this kind of stuff?
Right.
How did this all begin for you?
That's a good question. It's a story behind that. So before I started teaching and bringing out this information to help others, I worked in the food industry. I was an executive chef,
Okay.
and I working at a hotel, a major hotel here, and I would always see these numbers. They would always follow me. You know,
Oh,
all
okay.
these numbers: 222, 333, 111. I kept
Wow.
wondering why these numbers following me, and I was always had a sense like when I'm around individuals, people, I could sense their energy. And I just thought
Oh,
that was
wow.
weird. I
Okay,
thought that
okay.
was something different. I mean, there's times I could literally see people's, their, what you call aura. I can see
Oh,
the silhouette
wow.
of it.
Okay, okay.
And I was always in tuned just with my mind, with just naturally. When I dream things, I would
Wow.
see things in dreams and they would come true. So I kind of had
Wow. Okay,
this, what
okay.
you call, I don't know if you want to call it freakish ability, people would call it, or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
as I discovered, this is a natural part of our mind, of our brain, how it works. We shut that off.
Right, right,
We have this innate ability within us, right? We have
right,
this innate ability that we can tap into what we call the etheric dimension, or what you call spiritual, non-physical, which exists in
right,
we call it quantum fluctuation of
right,
waves,
right.
and your brain, your brain just interacts with it as a decoder,
Right,
as a signal.
right,
So it picks this signal up.
right.
So back to the story. So I remember one particular night, um, I woke up and I couldn't describe it. Maybe it was a headache, but it wasn't a headache. It felt like this immense pressure in
Mm-hmm.
my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think anything of it, and I went back to sleep. And the next morning, we usually have meetings where, at the food managers meeting where we do our food costs for the
Hmm.
month, and we use special
Hmm.
programs to calculate. And I remember that particular day I was in there sitting down and we're doing a food cost and says, hey, this is what we're running high on our food cost. And in my mind, I calculated the whole thing and I wrote it down because we used to use a software. I think it was called Quicken Pro software like that uses to crunch numbers. I did the whole thing in my mind. That's when I
Right.
realized that there's something here has awakened in me. And it was just my gift. That was my time. It was my ability. I was
Right.
being called to do
Right.
what I was supposed to
Right.
do.
Right.
And then I could open a book and I would just skim through the entire book and I know everything about the book. I wouldn't have to read detailed subjects, especially when it comes to difficult, things. This is why, especially when it comes to quantum physics, I can really take something that's very complex and I can teach it, or I can put it out in a way that anyone can understand.
Right, right. Yeah, you are
Yeah,
a phenomenal teacher. Yeah, definitely.
right.
Right. And I think that what makes you different than, most law of attraction teachers out there is that you obviously have phenomenal results, but like I said, like you really dive deep into the spiritual aspect of things.
Yeah,
Right, right. Because most law of attraction teachers will say stuff like, just, hey, we're going to do a guided meditation. We're just going to reprogram your mind and stuff like that. We're going to be in, gratitude. They kind of leave things at that, but you go a step a little bit further and you talk about the third eye and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, and obviously the vibrational numbers and stuff like that and things like that. So you would say that your phenomenal results that you're getting is definitely a side effect of you having such heightened um, uh, whether you want to call it chakras or consciousness or Merkaba, whatever the word may be, like you would say it's a side effect of having so much, lack of a better word, spiritual. Um, I hate to use the word power, but yeah, when you say it's a side effect, right?
Ye- Well, yes. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I discovered. Okay. That everyone, everyone will be watching this, they all have this innate power within them.
Hmm.
But what happens, it comes through you, through your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind gets you to what's known as your higher self.
Mm.
Your higher self is that voice or that feeling that when you
Mm.
just you feel like you deserve something or you feel like you can do better, and it never it stays there. That's what you call superconscious mindsets. You could call it coming from God, the universe, and it comes into you, and you pick it up through intuition, inspired action, feelings and nudges, and also meditation. So this we have this, and yeah, it comes through the pineal gland, and the pineal gland is one of the ways that you can access this. But we all have it. The thing is, no one taught us how to activate it and how to decode it. You
Right,
see, we have our conscious mind, which our brain is two structures. I mean, of course, it has different structures, but let's look at the brain, two sides, right, left hemisphere, right?
right,
So the way we were designed, the way we were groomed, we were groomed for analytical, for logical, for processing. And
right.
that's due to your ego. So our minds, the way our society is set up, we programmed our mind, the ego, to solve our problems.
Hmm.
But that's an issue because here's the thing with that mind. It wasn't designed for that. It was designed for
Mm.
survival, not thriving. So when
Mm.
you're trying to use something that's designed for something else, that's where you're going to get the issues. That's where you meet resistance. That's why you get people with over worrisome. That's where you get people with fear and doubt because the mind is reacting to what it was programmed to do,
Right, right,
protect. So when it sees something that it thinks it can't handle, you're going to get fear. You're going to get doubt.
right, right,
So,
right,
but there's another part of your mind, which is your subconscious mind.
right.
And the reason I think a lot of people aren't aware of this because it's unconscious, it's below.
Hmm.
So it runs with programs and habits. So we tend to ignore that. And the way our society is created, they don't teach you that. It's not surface. They just teach
Right,
you the surface level stuff. So imagine if you taught everyone to tap into that mind. The things that I'm doing, you can do it and even do it more. So that's where that exists. And I'm going to touch on something else. The reason it exists in that is because of how the entire universe or our entire reality exists. Your reality you're looking at, it's not physical.
right.
It's basically your brain is hallucinating these holographic images. But
Right.
reality, in essence, is comprised of information, of quantum information. This information is what your mind decodes, and you see something physical. So that's the main point that I want people to really understand. And
Right.
that's why the lottery is winning the lottery is easy. I can, with the numbers, I can literally call numbers out. I can say, okay, what numbers would I like to come out in a lottery, in a play four game? And I would call the numbers out and I would win. And you can do this any part. It just takes practice. And the lottery is just one
Right.
avenue of it. This goes beyond the lottery. This goes to
Right.
the whole system, right? So that's basically what we all have.
Right. Right. Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
Does that make sense? I
Oh
hope that
yeah,
makes sense.
absolutely, Mark. So Mark, what is like your current daily routine right now? Like, do you meditate at a certain time? Like, and if you do you meditate and stuff like that, I mean, how many hours do you meditate? And also,
Right,
do you do any other things like maybe yoga or Tai Chi or something like that, or like,
right,
you do
right.
anything?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
No,
do you eat like a particular diet or?
yeah, I get those questions a lot. All right. So basically, I've never done yoga. I do meditate, and I do two types of meditation,
Mhm.
which is I start to teach this. I meditate with my eyes closed, and when I meditate, I usually do it in the morning when I just get up, maybe 5 minutes. And what but meditation is to me is I basically sit there and I kind of close my eyes because when I get up, I'm still in that alpha state, that deep relaxing state. So I close my
Right.
eyes and I just absorb, you know, what the universe is giving me for 5, 10 minutes. Then I open my eyes and then
Right.
I start my day. Now, when I start my
Right.
day, my self talk is very important. So I always focus my mind or my thoughts on what's the best that could happen right now. That's what I do every day. I don't allow my mind to go beyond, well, what I don't want to happen. I focus my mind on what I'd like to see happen. And that's very
Right.
important because the way your mind works, it is an energy attractor. You know,
Right.
when you focus your attention is what you'll manifest, is what you'll create in
Right.
your reality.
Right.
And I also, during the daytime now, I'll also engage in what I call a open eye meditation. It's kind of where you get into that daydream state. So I can kind of just put myself into this daydream trance state and just, see what I want, or if there's something that I'll interested in a project or anything of that sort, whatever's going on and I want to change, I can do that. And I do that during the day as well. Now, the diet is now I don't drink any caffeine. So because caffeine is a stimulant and it really, I noticed I used to drink caffeine, and when I stopped it, I noticed my vibration was higher and I was able to do more. What I noticed with caffeine is it really stimulates the gland in the mind, and it
Right.
gives you what I call glitches in your perception. It
Right.
makes you very nervous.
Right.
And as far as as the regular diet, I'm not a total vegan. I mean, I eat chicken, fish. Sometimes I have beef. Um, but my diet is pretty consistent. But the main thing is that uh, the mindset is the mindset that's very important, and of course, getting plenty of sleep. And yeah,
Right.
that's pretty much my mindset there.
Right. Okay. Okay. And it sounded like, you touched upon dreams earlier. So
Right.
you don't necessarily practice, stuff like lucid dreaming and stuff like that. It comes as a side effect. Am I correct on that, or as far as your dreams are concerned?
Yes, yes, the lucid dreaming comes as a side effect. But what I started to do, I started to deliberately induce lucid dreaming.
Oh,
So
nice.
before I
Okay.
used to get random lucid dreams, but now I can initially induce the lucid dreaming. And I have some of those videos. I think I have a couple of videos on my channel where I kind of give you a step to lucid dream. But I'm working on something now where I can actually induce it within every night. Boom, boom, boom.
Wow. That's
So you can learn to
powerful.
do that. You can learn to do that, and it's very powerful. Lucid dreaming is one of, I would say lucid dreaming is one of the most powerful ways that you can accelerate your desires. If you want to create something, you want to manifest. If you want to speed up time, yeah, lucid dreaming would be, or what we call time. Right?
Right.
Time
Right.
is not, yeah, right. You
Right,
know what I mean by
awesome.
that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so definitely lucid dream sounds like something that everybody should be doing if they want to take their spiritual journey or their manifestation journey very seriously. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely differentiates you from most law of attraction coaches as well. So, Mark, So I want to share because your message is so powerful, your story is so powerful, and what you're able to do is so powerful. I also want to um, take your message to the areas of people that are looking into, to heal themselves. I mean, I'm part of many groups, and people are suffering from seemingly incurable diseases and stuff like that. What is your message to those people? What, like, do you think those people
Right.
can also help heal themselves through, with intentions and with
Oh yes,
manifestations?
yes. Oh
Do you
yes.
have any
See,
personal experiences with that, or?
yes, 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 yes. The healing thing is very powerful. Uh, the healing thing is you have to be careful with the healing thing because of how certain laws and what they have now with rights. But speaking as a spiritual person to another spiritual person, let me show you something about how your mind works and how powerful your body is. And this is my own personal experience, what I've done with myself, and what I've also done with my my personal coaching clients that I teach this to. That
Right.
it is very, very powerful. So let me give an example. First of all, your cells in your body, and I think Dr. Bruce Lipton is very expertise in this. It's called epigenetics. But
Right.
basically, every single cell in your body has what's called a mitochondria. It's the cell suppliers, the energy. It drives and creates the energy that you and I have, and we get it through our food.
Right.
But something else about your cells. Your cells are conscious. Your subconscious mind is in every one of your cells. So if you speak to your cells just like you're speaking to a person, it's
Mm-hmm.
listening. So
Mm-hmm.
if I say to my cells, why am I so healthy? If I have an
Right.
ailment, I say, fix this. My cells will relate to what it means for me to fix it, because my personal experience of fixing something means making me feel healthy or strong, just like you have your own unique way. Each cell is different. So I'll give you an
Right.
example of what I did. So about 2 years ago, I started to experience what people would call heart palpitations, right? There, every
Mm-hmm.
time my heartbeat would just rapidly, rapid. I was figuring out
Right.
what's
Right.
going on, what's happening. So what I do, because I'm so in touch with my cells now, so I went in, did my meditation. Let's ask myself. I said, "Hey, either fix this or let me know how to fix it." And as soon as I got out the meditation or visual exercise there, and I turned on my laptop, I went on what was it? I think it was Facebook, and up pops this thing says, "Here is 5 signs you may be magnesium deficient." And I said, "This sounds interesting." So anyway, I went on there, I looked, and basically I found out I was magnesium deficient because the food in the soil now is depleted, and I wasn't taking the supplements. And I had all the signs: palpitations, restlessness. And as soon as I realized that, I said, "Okay, that's what it is." And I got some supplements, and within 3 days, boom, never had a heart palpitation since. So it just shows you the power of how your mind works to help you to heal or create, but you have to get in tune with it. It can help you to fix things. It can fix it itself. It's very powerful. It's always the most important thing when it comes to health is you have to speak empowering. So any individuals out there want to get healthy, you have to speak to your mind as if it's already healthy. So if you notice there's something wrong with your body, you're off, speak to your cells. Ask them to say, "Hey, what's going on?" Okay, then you can visualize. You can visualize what it means to feel healthy. And I
Right.
just say, "Hey, man, fix this." And my cells know what it means to fix it. If they either fix it or they either
Right.
provide me the outlet to do it. This sounds crazy, but I'm here to tell you that the way your mind works, because your cells are community organized as one. They listen to you. And I've proved this to you. How many times your individuals say, "Man, I think I'm coming down with a cold. I feel sick." What usually happens? They end up feeling sick, coming down with a cold. Why? Because the cells are the subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious mind can't take a joke. It's illogical. So when you say something, the mind actually believes it's happening and will have to prove it to you as an experience. So the first thing you have to start doing, you have to start empowering yourself that, you know what? Why do I feel so good? Why am I always so healthy? Why does my body heal and regenerate itself so quickly, easily, and
Right.
things that, you know, when you start using those are called affirmations, then you start to target the mind a reason to prove it to you.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. So, Mark, obviously, in regards to that, obviously, right now, the world is sort of in like a fear state right now, obviously, because of the
Yeah,
coronavirus and stuff like that. What is your message to the world right now? What do you want to tell the world, to the people, to pretty much
right.
everybody on the planet right now? What is your message to everybody on the planet right
Here's what's going on, guys. It's perception. So we're being bombarded with fear.
now? Right.
Fear is what's driving this thing. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. There is a virus, okay? I understand that. But the fear is more powerful than the virus. And here's
Right.
why. Because when we have fear, guys, it lowers our immune system.
Right.
So I'm here to tell you guys, do not fear. If we start to focus on what you'd like to see happen, everything will start to change because we are all connected as one collective consciousness.
Right.
Okay? This is just, the earth goes through natural cycles. Um, Things happen in what we call this planet, and we try to find a reason. Why is it happening? Why is that? You know, the reason isn't as important. What's more important is, okay, how can I make this? How can I become better from this? How can I improve from this? And this is where we have to put our energy. So instead of focusing on the fear, why don't we start to focus on what we'd like to see happen? Health, rejuvenation. That's what we start to do. You start to do that, your mind starts to create this split reality where you're going to attract that. So that's what I'll tell everyone. It's really the fear that's driving us. So fear,
Right.
false events appearing real. Doesn't mean any impending danger.
Right.
So we have to have that mindset, and then we'll start to raise the vibration, and everyone will start to feel better. And you will see
Right.
things change
Right.
because we all control it as a collective
Awesome.
consciousness.
Nice, nice. Okay. So, Mark, well, the last question is, what is your ultimate goal? Like, what do you want to accomplish? Like, do you want to win $100 million? Like, do you want to what are your spiritual goals as well? Like, what do you
Well,
want to be able to manifest stuff that what is your goal?
well, to be realistic, my ultimate goal is I'm living it now. Is that I'm spreading this message, and my ultimate goal is just so everyone I can reach as many individuals as possible,
Hmm.
and they can change their lives because of what I've learned and what I'm teaching. That's my
Nice.
ultimate goal.
That's beautiful, Mark.
Yeah, the lottery is money is there. I don't The money thing is not an issue. It's when you love what you do, and that's my ultimate goal. And to show you
Nice.
something,
That's so beautiful.
when you do that, the money comes easily. The lottery will always come. So I'm not the lottery. Yeah, it's fun to do the lottery. I enjoy the lottery, but it's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal
Right.
is doing teaching people, helping them change their lives, and bringing awareness to the power you guys have that we can
Nice.
change and elevate.
Awesome.
Because when I can help you, you can help the next person. We raise vibration, we raise energetic patterns, or we call it qubits of information. That's what vibrations are, these energy patterns. We raise it. If we raise it, that means everyone benefits from it. We feed off of it, and it becomes even better for all of us. So that's the ultimate goal,
Nice.
to have this message become very, very mainstream so everyone can see this and they can
Nice.
start changing their lives.
Awesome. Awesome. And I believe you're on your way. I mean, you're currently at, what is this, roughly 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think it's a matter of time you'll really start to get to the point where you're, at that million subscriber range where everybody's, hearing your message and stuff like that. And I think everybody needs to hear your message because like I said, it goes beyond money. Your message is so powerful, so.
Yeah. That's the goal. And the thing is, the good thing is, when you find your purpose, you have a plan. The universe. You want to say God, the universe. It always works out the kinks for you. So
Right.
you never just like what you're doing. You're spreading the message. You're bringing the kinks will be worked out for you because everything's going to automatically work in your favor. You know why? Because you're doing a service that's beneficial to the collective
Right.
consciousness.
Right.
So as you say, time will just start to create momentum and everyone is good. And the thing about it is, thing about people is this: they want to change their lives. If you can show them and help them to do something to make them feel good, to become happy, to see changes, that's all it takes, man. And once you
Right.
do that, that's worth more than money.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so, so much for this interview, Mark. And yeah, you have a